Friday, November 11, 2022, St. Martin celebrated St. Martin's Day under the theme Unity and Friendship. The day commenced with an ecumenical church service held at the Tabernacle Methodist Church in French Quarter, followed by the wreath-laying ceremony, including various dignitaries such as His Excellency Governor Ajamu Bailey, Prime Minister Silveira Jacobs, President of the Collectivité Mr. Louis Mussington, as well as members of Parliament.
We made the sacrifice. Get it now. With our smiling faces, we share the hard time. Now nobody wanna leave it up to the one who dares, 'cause no one cares about yesterday's and today's hard time to bear. St. Martin is my home, and I'll do but anything to make it blue. I think of it, I dream of it in the morning, night, and noon.
The wreath-laying ceremony was followed by the traditional St. Martin's Day parade. We had no music, but we did our best. Good. Let's go. I enjoy it. The official speeches were presented by Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, Dr. Anders Rudolph Samuel, Third Vice President and Minister of Culture, Ms. Dominique Louis C., First Vice President of Parliament, Mr. William Marlin, Préfet of St. Barts and St. Martin, Vincent Bourton, His Excellency Governor Ajamu Bailey, Prime Minister Severa Jacobs, and President of the Collectivité, Mr. Louis Mussington.
People of St. Martin, this is one island, and we are one people. Today is an important day in our lives because today we have demonstrated to the world that we recognize that we are one people. Sometimes the place you live might separate you. Sometimes the rules we follow in life might separate us. But one thing is for sure. When it comes to our culture, our way of life, you know, we are one. From the way we pray, the way we wear our clothes, the food we eat, the way we dance and party, and the way we speak, you can see that we are one. So, when culture speaks, we listen. When culture speaks, we pay attention. And so when culture speaks, we obey. Today, the power of culture, those things we have inherited from our ancestors, they have awakened in us. And so today we are telling the world that we know we are one, and we are still listening to the drums. Today we plant a seed of one island, a seed of one people, a seed of one destiny, a seed of love and understanding. And today we have planted a very special seed, a seed of unity, to remind us we have a flag to always remind us of that. And that is the unity flag of St. Martin. So what we have done today is the beginning of many. Be patient and have understanding for those who might demonstrate that they need more time to understand. Not everyone is ready at the same time. To you, my people of St. Martin, I say congratulations. I would like at this moment to pause and ask you to put your hands together to ask a very special person in our midst to come forward. That person is the Honorable Mr. Lassana Sekou. Mr. Sekou, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the vision of the flag that we have today. And for those of you who don't really understand, this is the person that had and created our St. Martin Unity flag.
Par définition, la culture est l'ensemble des idées, des coutumes et des comportements sociaux d'un peuple particulier. Une culture unique est ce qui nous lie à travers le temps, à travers les générations. C'est ce qui nous permet de vivre ensemble, quel que soit le moment de l'histoire où nos vies se sont entremêlées sur cette belle île. L'histoire a conduit les habitants de ce territoire à devenir deux entités de nationalités différentes. Pourtant, de chaque côté de la frontière de cette douce terre de Saint-Martin, notre langue, notre danse et notre nourriture sont les mêmes. Et c'est pourquoi nous parlons de cette unité unique qui est l'essence de Saint-Martin. De la mosaïque historique qui caractérise notre île, la regrettée Daniela Geffry disait que la diversité de l'humanité sur un si petit espace a créé une identité unique et indéfinissable. Il reste un sentiment fort que, quelles que soient nos racines, quelles que soient nos expériences de vie, quelles que soient nos interactions humaines ici sur cette île, nous savons qui nous sommes. Nous sommes conscients de ce que nous sommes devenus. Un mélange, oui, mais toujours un mélange unique à travers l'histoire. Alors oui, c'est la même langue que nous parlons, la même musique sur laquelle nous dansons, la même nourriture que nous savourons. Ce lien qui unit les deux parties est indestructible, puisqu'il découle de l'histoire. C'est en effet sur le même bateau que les ancêtres des Saint-Martinois sont arrivés ici. Avant d'être caribéens, avant d'être antillais, nous faisons partie de quelque chose d'unique et c'est à nous de faire vivre notre culture et notre histoire et de la transmettre à nos générations futures. Aujourd'hui, malgré les différences politiques, la culture commune que nous partageons ne peut être niée et la reconnaissance du Unity Flag en est la preuve. Que les drapeaux de toute l'île suivent le même vent, car le coup de vent ne s'arrête pas à la frontière. Et faisons de notre mieux pour que cette belle entente perdure au-delà du temps.
Fellow St. Martiners, residents of our beloved island, both north and south, today is not just another St. Martin Day. Today is a very special day because we gather here again to proclaim and reaffirm to ourselves and to the whole world that despite the administrative and colonial divisions, we who inhabit this 37 square miles of God's own creation, we who through our sweat, blood, and tears built this island into what it is now, have been and are and will forever remain one people with one common destiny. As a testament to that oneness, we are hoisting for the very first time the St. Martin Unity flag as a cultural symbol that represents our togetherness as a people. Even though we come together at the border monument, we do not see the border as a line of division. To the contrary, it is for us a unifying symbol. As a matter of fact, we have never erected any borders in our minds. We are, as one of our poets put it, born free and borderless, and will die free and borderless.
I would like to particularly to greet our guest from the Dutch side, the Governor, Mr. Bailey, and Mrs. Jacobs, the Prime Minister. I want to say to her my pleasure to work very closely with you and to work to improve and enhance the cooperation between us, which is for me very important. You know, we have next year a Q4 meeting to deal with matters on security field, health, education, and it's very important for us to work hard on that subject. And thank you very much for your spirit of cooperation with us.
I congratulate the leaders of the northern and southern parts of our island for taking the step today to act in unity, to recognize a cultural symbol in the unity flag. And that, I believe, should always be our focus, unity. And for you who may not know, I, as many others on our island, also embody that unity. For although I currently reside on and am governor of the southern side of our island, my roots, via my grandfather, Charles Camille Bailey, are here on the northern side, right there in Freetown, St. Louis, Rambo. You see, the oneness of our people, the unity, that has always been the glue that kept us together, kept us devoted, and kept us thriving as a people. That love for country, it is part and parcel of our culture. I mentioned the unity kept us devoted, and as we all know, true devotion is evidenced by actions, not words. So as we hear that a cross-section of our youth feel, and I quote, St. Martin to them is a conduit, not something to feel any love for, end quote, we need to recognize, my people, that this is a cry for and a call to action by our youth, by our future. So let's get together in true St. Martin's spirit of jollification and answer the call, the cry. It is time for action, not words, as we will do today. In addition, we are to execute our culture more, especially on St. Martin Day, but not only today, every day and at every occasion. We need to create, foster, and provide economic opportunity for our creatives, the orange economy. And finally, make sure that we, in our actions, so not in words, but our deeds and actions, we today are a people our youth are proud to descend from. So I repeat, make sure that we in our actions, so not only in our words, but our deeds and actions, we today are people our youth are proud to descend from. Like we are proud of those whom we came from. So let us all unite and make it our business to ensure that St. Martin has meaning to and for our youth today. Remember, sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. Bonne fête du Saint-Martin à tous. Happy St. Martin Day to all. Thank you.
Today, based on those steps, we honor those who came before us, those who have died, those who worked, those who suffered, those who survived, those who lived, loved, celebrated, and laughed. We honor those who we are connected to by blood, as our Honorable and Excellency Mr. Bailey mentioned, as you may not know, Melissa also is, and so many of us, hybrid of North and South. Today is a great day to be a St. Martiner, to be the one who is connected to and loves St. Martin, to be someone who believes in the forward motion of this country. And I am St. Martin, and you are St. Martin. Say it, I am St. Martin. I don't hear you. We are St. Martin. And it falls to all of us to band together with a shared vision and a commitment to put the hard work in to propel this country to be the best place in the world to live. I thank you. Happy St. Martin Day. May God bless St. Martin and always continue to protect its people and our shores.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you this afternoon profoundly moved by this important gathering on this day, 11th of November, 2022. Yes, it was said before me, it is indeed an exceptional day for us, the true lovers of St. Martin, this sweet St. Martin land. And what is most exceptional or historic about today is the fact that for the very first time in our history, elected officials from North and South have shown, have demonstrated, have exhibited much courage, bravery, and they have taken a bold decision to embrace, after 32 years, the St. Martin Unity flag. This event is in itself a milestone in our development as a people. On this day, November 11, 2022, we have officially endorsed this flag as a symbol of the cultural unity of our people. And at this moment, I must say to you that it could not have been done without those who gone before us, and William Mullen mentioned it, the founding fathers of this unity flag. Well, not the unity flag in itself, but the founding fathers of the celebration of the St. Martin Day. I'm referring to the late Dr. Claude Watty and also the late Dr. Hubert Petit. Let's give them a round of applause. Well deserved. They had the vision. They had the vision, as it was told to me in his home on the Fort Hill. Dr. Hubert Petit said, we choose this day, 11th of November, because it was the only day in the year where both sides were at home on holiday, and we needed a day when we, the people of this country, could express our love, our unity, our strength, our oneness as the people of St. Martin. So they celebrated back then, up to today, the 11th of November, as St. Martin Day. And let it go down again for the young ones. It was not about celebration of l'armistice. Yes, we know Laurence Duval, l'armistice. It was not a celebration for the South, neither in terms of Holland connection. It was a celebration of the people coming together on that particular day to celebrate what makes us the people of this land. And as it was properly described by those who spoke before me, This day has been designed to showcase the cultural expression of our people, our food, as mentioned, our dance, our music, our literature, our poems and our books and so forth, our friendliness and solidarity with one another. You all can remember the jollification. This is a testimony of how we used to live in harmony and be each other's keeper. This imposes on us today a new obligation, a new moral responsibility, and that is to ensure that the cultural way of life of the people of St. Martin be preserved, be protected, and strengthened by all means necessary. So today, I take great joy in reinforced by much pride, and standing here today, declaring again that to the rest of the world, as it listens to us, that we, the Collectivité d'Outre-mer of St. Martin, officially join with the government of St. Martin in recognizing the St. Martin unity flag as a joint cultural symbol of our unity, we, the people of St. Martin. Let it be known that we have concluded that this is how we would celebrate our oneness during various events. My dear St. Martin family, allow me today to underline the fact that when we were granted a measure of autonomy in 2007, we were actually given the means to further protect our heritage as a people of St. Martin. And in doing so, we have chosen to celebrate this day with much determination and with a strong sense of dedication and a commitment to serve boldly the interests of St. Martin and its people. However, you must know that a few weeks ago, and to be precise, on the 29th of September 2022, I presented a proposal before the council to deliberate on a cultural symbol for St. Martin. And one of the councillors opposed the idea by asking the entire council, how could we join lest we know each other? I suppose there is wisdom in that question, but the answer is rather simple. From the beginning of times, we the people of St. Martin have been attending each other's weddings. We the people of St. Martin have been supporting each other's birthday parties, infant baptism ceremonies, beach parties we shared with each other. We have gone to church together. We have participated in joint Christmas and Easter church programs. We have followed and showed great interest and support in each other's political campaigns. I'm here illustrating the fact that we did not just wake up one day and say that there must be a unity day and celebration around a flag. We have toiled our soil. We have done whatever we felt was necessary to live together in harmony. So let no one stand in the way of we, the people, building our unity. And today we are here to plant that seed of unity, of economic prosperity. Let me also continue to add that we are born in each other's hospital and gone to each other's schools. Our partners, our spouses are from north or from the south. Some of our men have fathered children from both sides of the island, and you know what I'm referring to. So how best can we relate to the unity, to the oneness of our people? So I say this afternoon with much pride and joy, we know each other very well. And I will add to that, we are one happy St. Martin family. The world must know The world must know that above French and Dutch nationality, there is family unity, and we will always speak English much in this country. To quote the late Dr. Daniela Jeffrey, we are like Siamese twins. We feel on a daily basis each other's pain. We know of each other's aspirations, whether it's in the political, economic, and cultural life of this land. We know of each other's aspirations. When the opposition went on to say that, or to argue that I did not organize a referendum on the unity flag, I simply tried via the Territorial Council to shove it down their throats. I did not do such thing. I just want them to go back and check back with the 16th of September 2022 protest in Bellevue, and it was correctly quoted by one of the speakers previously. When thousands swept across the Bellevue Road, waving the St. Martin unity flag. St. Martiners of all social classes, of all origins, of all faith, of all colors, put their lives on the line in the midst of a pandemic to defend the unity of our people and defend the oneness of our island. What was indeed a beautiful demonstration of love and dedication to a common heritage and a common destiny. My question to you, lovers, true lovers of St. Martin, is there a need to organize a referendum today? Or, thank you. Or are we going to continue to embrace the unity of represented today by our St. Martin flag? Let me hear your answer. Thank you so much. So the matter is now settled. I repeat, the matter is now settled. So we will no longer go on radio and TV and talk about Louis Massenton trying to rub something down people's throat. It is the people's cultural expression, and the people, by the gathering here today, are proudly and loudly saying, we want this flag as a symbol of our unity, of our oneness, standing on the shoulders of those who are the pioneers of this event, in the person of the late Dr. Hubert Petty, and also the late Dr. Claude Watty. I thank you so much for that show of support. It was important that we get that matter cleared. So like I said, it is now settled. Let me kindly ask you to give, even though it was done earlier, thank you again, Minister of Culture, a round of applause to not just Sekou. Yes, he was the father of the whole brilliant idea. But behind Sekou, there were other intellectual, brilliant minds of the country who had the same energy, the same dedication to work tirelessly with him to produce this great event, or this great cultural symbol that we now recognize as our own. So let me say, Sekou, thank you. Souldiers, thank you. Fabian Badajo, thank you. Rhoda Arundel, thank you. The late Daniela Jeffrey, thank you. Harris White, and also Fabian Badajo. There could be other names, but I don't have them all. But I say thank you again, most sincerely, for your unmeasurable contribution to the preservation of the unity of our people, and for giving more intense and significant meaning to the cultural heritage of our country, St. Martin. In conclusion, because I know, yes, it's running late, so let me skip a lot of it and jump to a simple conclusion in saying that the people of St. Martin today, to you the people, today marks the beginning of a formalized unity. The leaders of the country, Prime Minister Cyril Vieira Jacob and myself, standing on the shoulders of the late great Dr. Watty and the late great Dr. Petty, did what we can to take the baton to this level where it's at today. A full recognition of the St. Martin flag after, and I repeat myself, after 32 years. It is now left to each and every one of you, St. Martiners, whether you were born in this country or whether you came from Europe, from the Caribbean, once you choose to embrace the cultural values of this land, you are considered as one of us.
After the official speeches, the Memorandum of Understanding for the Unity flag was signed between both governments. Prime Minister Jacobs transcribed the MOU, while President Mussington gave some closing remarks about the historical signing.
The Memorandum of Understanding between the country St. Martin and the Collectivité of Saint-Martin on the St. Martin Unity flag. The country St. Martin, represented by Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs, and the Collectivité of Saint-Martin, represented by President Louis Mussington, having considered the sovereignty of the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the French Republic over St. Martin and Saint-Martin, respectively, considered that despite this political separation, the two local communities have and continue to live in peace and harmony, cemented by strong social and family ties and by the virtue of the general principles fixed by the Treaty of Concordia signed on March 23, 1648, considered that these ties have led to the development of shared cultural practices, traditions, and symbols that resonate deeply with and form part of the identity of the people on both sides of the island, recognize the value of deepening and expanding upon this shared cultural history under the theme of unity, an impetus for experimentation, innovation, and development, have decided to use the St. Martin Unity flag as a joint cultural symbol of the affirmation of the unity and identity of the people of our island. The St. Martin Unity flag bears no political or institutional value and is therefore to be used only on occasions of cultural value to the people of St. Martin. It is therefore not a national flag and its use is not regulated by flag protocol. It is therefore not to be used in a manner that is equal to the regulated national flags. On a side note, until we change that. Signed on the unifying occasion of St. Martin Day, Friday, November 11th, 2022 at, in a few minutes. And for St. Martin, I will sign Sylveria Jacobs, Prime Minister, as well as Dr. Anders Rudolph Samuel as Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. And for St. Martin, President Louis Mussington and Madame Dominique Democrite Louisy, third Vice President in charge of Human Development. And we now go over to signing.
And I'll do about anything to make it bloom. And the morning, night, and noon. And to it I'll give my life to keep on shining with the sunshine that comes out in the morning. We've made a sacrifice to get it where it is now.